Hallo, jag heter John Olsen. Välkommen to Next Stop from the bike capital of the world. Welcome to wonderful Copenhagen. On this episode, we'll explore this incredible city by canal, we'll tour one of the most beautiful castles in Europe, and we visit world-renowned Tivoli Gardens. We'll also discover a cafe breaking all sorts of norms, specializing in smoochie. Stick around and find out all this and more on Next Stop Copenhagen. The fun starts now. We've toured cities all over the world by bus, by car, by bike, by foot, never by canal. Until today.
Hi to all and welcome. My name is Julia and I will be your guide on this tour. We are now in the canal of Nyhavn, and this canal was excavated between 1671 and 1673. The purpose was that the ships could sail all the way into the city's new center, where the King's New Square is, with their goods. You can now see the Royal Theatre's Playhouse. The Playhouse opened in 2008 with Shakespeare's Hamlet. It was designed by two Danish architects that are called Lundgaard and Tranberg. The Opera House here on the right side opened in 2005. It was designed by a Danish architect that is called Henning Larsen. The ship you see on the right side is the royal yacht that is called Dannebroge. It was built in 1931 and it's the oldest royal yacht in the whole world that is still in use today. You can now also see two identical buildings. On the right hand side there's actually 4 of these buildings, and this is Amalienborg. Amalienborg is the royal residence since 1794. We are now in Gammel Strand, which means the old beach. It is here that the modern city of Copenhagen was founded in 1167 by the Bishop Absalon. You can see a statue of him on the left-hand side. He's on his horse. On the right side, you can now see the most modern castle of Christiansborg. It is the 3rd castle with this name and this spot, and it is from 1928. The building on the right-hand side is the old stock exchange. It was built between 1620 and 1640. The tower is made of 4 intertwined dragon tails, and on the top there's 3 crowns that symbolize the Kalmar Union. We are now back to where we started, so the tour is over. Me and Jens hope you enjoyed it. Have a nice day, and thank you for a nice tour.
What are the highlights for you on the tour?
Royal Residence and the Canal of Christianshavn, which is, for me, breathtaking, and the oldest part of the city.
You know, we also sailed by the most popular #1 restaurant in the world, Noma.
Yeah.
Have you been there?
No, I haven't. There's a 3-month waiting list now, and the top waiting time was 1 year, I think, in the beginning. Now it's 3 months.
I think we'll dine right over there at the local closest stand.
Yes.
Thank you for
your time. That's a great
today.
idea. Yeah, no problem. Hi. You too.
The changing of the guard takes place every day at noon at Amalienborg Palace. The purpose of the Royal Guard is to protect Denmark's royalty, especially Queen Margaret II, the first female monarch in Denmark since the 15th century. This is sometimes accompanied by music if the Queen isn't resident. But if you take a look at that building over there, the only one with 5 chimneys, there's no flag flying. No flag, no Queen. For more information on this and other fun activities in Denmark, go to visitdenmark.com. Frederiksborg Slot, or Castle, located in Hillerød, a town about 42 kilometers north of Copenhagen, is the oldest Renaissance palace in Scandinavia, dating back to the early 17th century. It also houses the Museum of Natural History. Hello, can I go to it? I'm John.
Hello, John. My name is Sam. Welcome to Frederiksborg.
Thank you for inviting us to your home.
Oh, you're welcome.
This is a nice place you live.
Oh, it's a very nice place.
Okay, you don't live here.
No, I don't live here.
Who did?
Well, in the 17th century, the Danish king lived here. His name was Christian IV, and he was one of the most wealthiest persons in Northern Europe. And when you're wealthy, you need, of course, a grand house.
I'm dying to see the inside.
Well, let's go inside then.
Let's do it. absolutely gorgeous room.
It is one of the favorite spots at the museum.
Wow.
It's also the spot where you can see the kind of decoration which the old castle were made with. It's again made to impress. It's what Renaissance is about. You have to be dazzled.
Let's talk about the shields on the wall. This is impressive. They must have deep meaning.
It is going back to when Denmark was an absolute monarchy. And whenever a person is getting one of these shields, he will have his coat of arms made and painted, and he have the shield put up here.
Cool.
Well, you remember that I told you that the Danish king was very wealthy.
Yes.
He was also very practical. So you're now in the basement of the castle. It's his treasury. But instead of walking down all the stairs with the money, he would slide the coins through the slide down into this large chest.
Soren, this is one impressive display of art. How many pieces are in here?
Well, we say we have approximately 10,000 paintings. But apart from paintings, we have engravings, we have etchings, we have furniture, we have chairs, we have cupboards.
So earlier today, Soren promised us that he would show us where he had his wedding reception, and wow, this is pretty cool, Soren.
It is. No wonder it's called the Great Room.
You didn't have a wedding reception here. But this is a great room.
It is, and I wish I had. But it is a great room, and it was built by Christian IV. For having parties, functions.
I can only imagine. You've got a nice office.
Thank you.
Talk for having us.
Selv tak.
Coming up, Denmark's Knowledge Center for Design and the historic Admiral Hotel. Danish design is well respected throughout the world. To learn more, we visit the Danish Design Center. We begin our tour through history of Danish design in the 1950s. What was going on in the 1950s?
1950 was just after the war, so there was not that much money, but there was a huge power to create something. So a lot of the things you see here is created at that time, and the thing was that there were new materials. Lego is there. Lego started, in like 52. Denmark is a nation of play. We like to work hard, but we also like to play. And Lego is just the thing where you can build. You're not supposed to do whatever you were told by your parents. You could just dream away. And
that's the great thing about Legos.
It is.
And that hasn't changed all the way to the day.
Hasn't changed, and you see even adults still playing with Lego now. They put a lot of computers in them so you can do things like robots.
The psychedelic 60s.
It is, yes. That's what we call the hippie thing, the flower power things. And what happened was that when we looked at the 50s, that was all natural materials. So plastic were introduced. And we had this fantastic designer called Werner Pansen. He did this chair and all these environments, sort of psychedelic things. And at the same time, getting back to your roots, you also had this television thing by Bang & Olufsen, who was sort of a little bit spacey, right? This is modern.
That's cool.
Yeah, I think it's really cool.
That's
it's in my home when I was a kid.
Really?
So, yeah.
Now we're in the 70s. When I was a kid, I would have liked this thing.
Oh, you should have had one. The 70s was sort of, like systems, and the 80s was about systems. How can we get systems to work? The whole idea was, it was not just one thing, it was everything.
A lot of that is still current today, too, though, because these are the same taps in our hotel room.
Yes. And I have them at home, and I think my kids will always have them at home. So they are here.
If it ain't broke, why fix it? So now we arrive at the 90s.
Yeah, but let's skip the 90s. We didn't do much cool design in the 90s. Let's go to the next.
So now we're in the new millennium. And I love this. That is super cool.
That's fantastic. That's a one-off.
Is it?
But it is a cool thing. And also the lamp is telling you that now materials can do that, and technology is going into design.
Neil, I'm impressed. Thank you very much for the tour through time, and I can see why Danish architecture, Danish design has been so relevant for so many decades, and for decades to come.
Yeah, and come back in 10 years and we will show the next part.
I'd love to.
See you. Bye.
Copenhagen is one of the most ambitious cities in the world when it comes to sustainable lifestyle. By the year 2025, Copenhagen plans to be the world's first capital city that is CO2 neutral. Bikes are just one of the ways Copenhagen tries to stay green. They're by far the fastest and least expensive way to get around, and of course, they emit no CO2. Copenhagen is truly a green city. We're staying at the very lovely and very historic Admiral Hotel in Copenhagen. Yes, but thanks for having us.
Thank you. You're welcome.
This is a gorgeous property, and I love the history of it. Take us back to 1787.
It used to be a storage place for corn and for grain. We have a lounge, which is part of our banqueting department. That used to be the oven, drying out most of the granary.
So all the floors house the grain and corn?
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
And there was very historic events that happened, that this hotel was very key in. 1801?
Yeah, exactly.
What happened then?
We had the bombardment of Copenhagen, but we survived. Most of the buildings around the hotel were on fire. It's, yeah, a big part of Copenhagen history.
Your location is spectacular. We're right on the water.
Of course, as a hotel, that is the location. Everything is fairly close by. We've got the Queen living just down the road.
Queen's your neighbor?
Yeah, she is. And of course, we got the view of the water.
One thing that's unique, I think, is the hallway.
Yeah.
When you walk down, the woodwork on the ceiling.
All the hallways and all the wood and the walls that you see, that is the original thing from when it was built.
And when you walk in your lobby, it's very impressive. It's very long. There's lots of depth to it.
Yeah.
And your staff is so friendly. Everybody's been so friendly the entire stay. And you've got an award-winning restaurant.
We do, yeah. The Salt Restaurant. It's been with us for quite a few years now.
There's something you have that's very different from any hotel we've ever stayed at.
We do have the water, and together with the water we do have ships.
As you can see, this is a very impressive property with a history dating back to the start of our country. On your next trip to Copenhagen, we recommend you stay at the Copenhagen Admiral Hotel. Up next, we learn about smooshie and a unique bar hopping experience, including an ice bar. The food scene in Copenhagen is thriving. In fact, for the last 3 years running, they have the #1 rated restaurant in the world. For our food feature today, we're on the main walking street, the Stroll, to feature the Royal Cafe, which is anything but your average cafe. Let's smooshie. I have been so excited to learn about your concept, not only about smooshie, but cafe. You've taken it to a whole new level.
Our idea was to sort of emphasize everything that had been famous in the past, which was smørrebrød, open-faced sandwiches.
Which is very well known in Denmark.
Yes. So we thought, why not do it in a modern, more up-to-date way? Not have huge open-faced sandwich, but maybe have small, tasty.
You can try more things that way.
Yeah. You know, you can, as you can see in front of us, we have 3 smoothies standing here. This is the ox filet, beef filet, or call it how you like, with a good old Danish tomato. This is new potatoes, new cucumber. This is what we would call a vegetarian dish. Has a little radish. The next one here is actually very interesting. It's called in Danish stjerneskud, which means a shooting star. If you see it from above, the way it's made, it looks like a star.
Now, I feel like your cafe here, this room is beautiful. I feel like we're having like afternoon high tea.
You can see something there, a hand-painted wall, or you can see one of these old paintings from our castle. Why not give people that experience?
This is the most unique cafe we've ever been to, and this is absolutely a wonderful presentation. Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's
Thank you
awesome.
very much.
You're redefining it.
Thank you very much.
Good job, brother.
Thank you for coming.
We hear that Copenhagen has one of the most active nightlifes in Europe. Let's find out for ourselves. We begin our night at Ice Bar Copenhagen. It's summertime in Copenhagen, and we're in an ice bar. An actual ice bar. And I thought there might just be a little bit of ice around, but we're talking full on ice here, Pablo.
Yeah, it's what we have in here is 40 tons of natural ice, all brought from north of Sweden.
So what is she making here behind us?
She's making a drink of, it's called Construction. That's our famous factory, so we have all the names of our cocktails are related to the theme.
So these glasses are all ice as well?
Exactly.
They're special. What does it take to like keep these things in stock?
Well, we keep them in the bar.
Because once I put my mouth to it, it starts melting, right?
Exactly. Once you're done drinking them, we have a slide just there where you throw them, and then afterwards we will just get rid of them.
How cool was that? No pun intended. Our next stop, something equally unique, Ruby's. I love your place.
Yeah.
So quaint, so different, so unique.
I think it's a little bit unique, a little bit intimate, and still very extremely friendly, and it's really simple. Just treat people with respect and try and have fun while doing it.
I think that's a good philosophy.
Yeah. Upstairs is a little more happening, whereas downstairs is a bit more quiet, and we try and do a bit more old school menu with forgotten classics that we sort of flipped through all our cocktail literature and found these interesting drinks that we don't see much anymore, and try and revive some of the old classics.
So Visit Denmark told me that you guys make some classic cocktails.
Yeah,
I have to come and check it out.
And I have one of the signature twists we do for you in a minute. So we're going to go to the bar and have a drink called the Rapscallions.
So the other night, my camera guy and I, Mike, were rolling down the street looking for a pub. Just a place to have a beer, an oud, and relax. And we came upon this place, and we loved it. Walking in here, seeing the art on the wall, this is my idea of a real neighborhood pub. But it wasn't always a pub.
Actually, it was a grocery store since the 60s, right? And there was this old man down here selling mostly wine and liquor. And in the back, in there, he also, invited his customers on a schnapps, right? So already in the 60s, it was actually a
bar.
A bar, yeah.
You guys have a very special place. We love it. And I would love to end our nightlife segment by taking our schnapps and having it in the back room.
Yes.
Let's go. Coming up, learn where Walt Disney got his ideas and one of the most unique music segments ever on Next Stop. Tivoli's been putting smiles on the faces of Danes for over a century. Let's have some fun. We have Disney, Denmark has Tivoli, a very, very magical place. Started with this guy right here. How did he even invent this place back in the day? 1843.
He stole the idea actually from a park in Paris that was called Tivoli.
Really?
But none of the original parks exist. It's only the Copenhagen one that has managed to survive through to today.
How many rides are there?
Well, at the moment we have 26, half kiddie rides and half really wild white knuckle type rides.
White knuckle.
Yeah.
This ride looks interesting.
Yeah, it's probably our wildest ride. It's called the Vertigo, would you believe?
I can see why we call it, yes.
With the power that's in the movement of the ride, can you imagine when it decelerates, all the power that's in actually slowing it down?
Yeah, it stores it.
So we pick up that power and reuse it. 25% of the electricity that the Vertigo uses is actually regenerating.
That's very cool. So we're behind the scenes. This is one of the oldest roller coasters I know that I've ever been around.
Yeah, 1914. There are only 6 roller coasters this kind of age in the world.
So the brakeman actually sits here. How does he work it?
What you do is you pull this lever towards you, thereby pressing the metal wings. So it's actually the friction that brakes the car.
There's more to Tivoli than just the rides.
We have the rides, of course, and then the scenery. I hope you can see how pretty that is, and all the architecture, the wining and dining, everything from hot dogs to gourmet meals. And then we have all the entertainment. So there's free music every day. Once you've paid admission, you get free concerts. There are shows you pay for. There's ballet, there's classical music, there's all sorts of things.
Here's a pleasant surprise, our most unique Next Stop music segment ever. That's so cool what you guys do.
Thank you.
What are the age ranges?
Around 8 years to 16. I'm 16 now, and I've been in the Guard 5-6 years, so I'm looking forward to...
You're retiring.
Exactly, yeah, I actually am, yeah.
Tak skal du have for joining us on Next Stop from wonderful Copenhagen. And thanks to our Danish show sponsors, Visit Denmark, wonderful Copenhagen, the Admiral Hotel, and Iceland Air, another great Alaska Airlines partner with convenient connections to all of Europe through Reykjavik. Thanks also to our show's title sponsors and good friends, Alaska Airlines and the Alaska Airlines Visa Signature Card. Next stop, where will we take you next? Make good memories, everybody. Denmark has Tivoli, turning 100 years old. This next year?
Well, more than 100 years. So, 1843, Tivoli was founded.
Way more. Let's start that over.
Yeah. So the roller coaster is 100 years.
Oh, yeah. You taught her?
Yeah.
You taught her everything she knows.
Yeah. Well, not everything, I guess.